All right, welcome in. Welcome back to another episode of Bears Film Room. We have Bears versus 49ers, instant reactions, really heartbreaking loss. Haven't had to cover a lot of these. I would say this one's similar to the Packers. This one might hurt more. I always feel like it's recency bias, but what we're going to do here, Dave, Ficky, Jack, we're going to go ahead and kind of break down the game, give our, raw instant reactions to what we just witnessed and what we all just watched. Again, we all cover the Bears for sportsmockery.com. Show is presented by sportsmockery.com. So again, thank you guys for joining us. I know it's a little bit later, 11:22 Central Time. I'm going to go ahead and start, boys, and then we'll go ahead and pass it around, and we'll talk about this game. I know there's a lot of comments. Keep them coming. We're going to kind of just talk through this little therapy session, and then we'll move on to Detroit. But I'll start. This was the 7th or 8th game of the year for Chicago. This was one that I was telling my wife we were watching, I said, if we win this one, it's like we're proving the Bears are proving that they can win in so many different ways this season. And so to be able to win a shootout where your defense really did nothing outside that pick six to start the game, I just wanted this one. This is one I wanted. I truly did. Also, I cannot stand the 49ers. For some reason, I don't like them. I don't even like. It's almost up there with the Packers for me. I don't know why. But Brock Purdy, his little dance was pissing me off all night. But this was a tough one. Shout out to Caleb though, Ben. There's so many talented players. This team, the future is so bright. That's really like, if I'm taking the full perspective here, the Bears have a very bright future, and they're just scratching the surface. And I truly believe that they're a year ahead of schedule. And I think they're contenders, man. I think this defense, it sucks. It truly does. Like, I think the draft is going to be defense, and more defense, and they have to address it because it was just abysmal. I don't know how Brock Purdy, every single pass was like almost just wide open. Like, it was incredibly frustrating, but for this offense, I think they can outscore anybody. So to go and win the Super Bowl would be really tough, especially with the defense they have. But you saw some flashes with Austin Booker. I guess that's it. Maybe Montez, like Nashawn Wright was burnt toast today. It was just frustrating. And albeit a couple calls, that CJ Gardner-Johnson one that basically took an interception away. I think I kind of tweeted about 7 times about it because I feel like it turned the game a little bit. Now the Bears fought, and it hurts in my heart, my soul, for them to come up short, especially with Caleb. And when that ball landed, I could not believe it was incomplete because I thought for sure somehow, I don't know how they were going to score a touchdown. And I thought they had it on the hook and ladder. I mean, how poetic would have that been? So I'm going long here, but that's my instant reactions. We'll kind of get through the grades and everything here in a second. But Vic, I'm going to pass it to you. How are you feeling after this tough loss to San Francisco in the Bay?
Yeah, so obviously you don't like to lose. We don't, right? You want to win this. There's still something on the line. You're fighting for that number 1 seed, right? So I'm going to go the good, the bad, the ugly. If we start with, we'll actually do the great. The great is we've already won an NFC North. We are already in the playoffs, right? So we are going to get the first game is going to be a home game, okay? So that's at least the good. We got to acknowledge that. Shout out to the Packers losing to Derrick Henry and the Ravens because, this team is going to the playoffs. So because you have that in the back of your mind, the loss still sucks, but it's like, hey, our season's still going, right? Like, next week actually doesn't matter. You can sit players. There's nothing on the line. We can get fully healthy for the first home game in Soldier Field for the playoffs. So that's the great. The good, I'd say the good along with the great is Caleb Williams balled out. 330 yards.
Did you say sit somebody? Are you saying sit players next week?
You literally have nothing to gain. There's nothing
they can lose. They cannot get the 2 seed.
But it'd be the 2 or 3. It doesn't matter. It's a home. 2 and 3 doesn't matter because you're playing 6 or 7. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, I would go for the 2 seed. We'll get there.
I'm saying, look, you can.
No, keep going.
That is a decision you can make, right? No, I think it's a good point there. You can, but you are risking a little bit. I'm saying if they didn't, it's not like they're losing much. It will tell you, though, if they're the 2 seed, you play the Packers. If you decide to rest and you become the 3 seed, you don't play the Packers because the Packers are locked in at 7. So if you don't want to play the Packers for the 3rd time and you want to keep your guys healthy, technically you could rest. But that's going to be up to coach and them to decide. Doesn't matter. The other good part is Caleb
Yeah.
Williams. Obviously, we know about. He balled out 330 yards, first game over 300 yards, only 150 yards or so away from breaking the Bears franchise record held by Eric Kramer back in 1999. And he had another clutch moment where he marched the team down the field, making fantastic plays, a clutch fourth down play to Colson Loveland, and gave the Bears an opportunity to win that game. So that's great. Another great, Luther Burden, balled out. Looks like a superstar in the making. He got injured at the end. That sucks, but he looks pretty good. Colson Loveland, clutch on, his go-to. He had his first drop of the season or maybe his second, but he's been looking great. Offensive line looked great. DeAndre Swift looked good, and so did Kyle Monunga. So like we've seen all season, or at least the past 8 or 9 weeks, offense looks good. The bad is our linebackers probably had their worst game of the season, in my opinion, right? They didn't do well they weren't shooting the gaps well against the run. They got beat on on play action, like time after time after again. And then I would say the ugly is this defensive line. Austin Booker had some great plays. The 2 swatted, batted balls. He had the only sack of the game, or that third down stop where he almost sacked him. But he did get burnt on contain twice, and one of them ended up being a touchdown. Sweat got burnt on an option read where where Purdy pulled it, and he got a first down and a touchdown on that. And we've been bottom 5 when it comes to containing mobile QBs, and we saw that again last week, and we saw that again this week. So this defensive line got no pressure at all. Purdy had 50 seconds in the pocket, and because of that, he's efficient with the ball. He dialed us up, and that's why we lost the game. The ugly. I know you said they could possibly be contenders, and I'm still optimistic about this team big picture, right? And I still think they can win a game in the playoffs. If you look at most of the past Super Bowl winning teams, I'd probably say 8 out of 10 of them have had a really good defensive line, or at least at minimum a serviceable defensive line. We do not have that. And because of that, I just do not think, along with this game, it makes me worry just a bit about how far this team can go. Now, they could step it up in the playoffs, and I could be completely wrong. They could, have a run of 3 straight games that looks fantastic. That'd be great. I'd be so happy about that. But based off the performance I've seen tonight, and based off the performance of about 16 other games we've seen, I just don't know how far this defense can hold us. And their worst performances have come against playoff contending teams. So all in all, the loss isn't as bad as what it is, because you're in the playoffs. You have a home game coming up. You'd like to win it to possibly get the 1 seed, but it is what it is. Overall, though, big picture, I still feel good. Caleb balled out. Offense looks good. And we have the number 1 question that we've had, the 2 questions. I'm sorry I'm long here, Jack, but the number 2 questions we had here was, who's going to be our quarterback? Right now, do we have our franchise quarterback? And is Ben Johnson going to be a head coach? And I think we can all agree that that's a yes. And that's a yes. So therefore, this loss doesn't hurt as bad, because I know the future looks bright. But Jack, how do you feel? Am I too optimistic?
No, not at all. I really blame Ben Johnson for the way we feel right now, because he gave us expectations when we did not think we had them. Like, we went into the season kind of thinking all right, brand new head coach. This guy's never head coach or gone a day being a head coach, comes in here with a second year quarterback. And if we had 4 wins right now, this would be like, oh my God, what a hell of a game. Like, this is promise for next year. But now that we have the expectations, now that we have playoff berth, now that we have the division, it sucks to lose games like this. So I'm trying to be more optimistic like you are. Because I went the whole week saying, I'm okay if we lose. It's a tough team. I'd like to end our win streak. Like, let's kind of hit a reset. Let's hit adversity, and then we can move forward. But in total, I mean, the offense just looked great. It's the Ben Johnson offense that we always wanted. The hook and ladder is a prime example of, like, shit gets messy and this guy's got something written up for it. And so that was obviously awesome. It's frustrating to me when we have a week where the defense carries the offense and they have 5 takeaways and the game ball is going to Dennis Allen and every defender on the entire fucking team. And then the next week, it's the opposite. Like, I wish we just had some sort of consistency with that. But it was a good game. It was fun to watch. It was entertaining. NFL is an entertainment business, and it was fun. It's hard because we can't beat every good team. We're not going to go undefeated. We're not the Dolphins. We're not the 1980 whatever the fuck Dolphins. So in total, I'm okay that we lost. Now, at the time, I was super upset, pissed, felt like we had it. We kind of gave it up just defensively, but we're okay. we're good. There's nothing to panic about. We got Detroit, and then we got playoff football, man. Like, how cool is that? We have playoff football. So how on earth can we be upset that we have a playoff team right here in front of us starting in 2 weeks?
No, it's good. It's a good point. Dave, I have a question for you because you did bring up a good point, and I agree with you, Jack, completely. This has definitely Ben Johnson's fault in a way, which is funny how that is, and also this comment's hilarious. Jack. So, words of Jack. Let's hit diversity.
Let's hit it.
We'll put that on a t-shirt.
Diversity. Let's go. Let's hit that.
But Dave, here's a question for you, and for you too, Jack. Right? So, if you're in that, we're in this position now, the hypothetical, right, where if we play the Lions and try to beat them, right, there is the risk of injuries. And as we know, this team has been the most injury team in the NFL. It's just the data backs it up. But if you play your starters and you win and you get that 2 seed, you will face the Packers. If you beat the Packers, you will get one more home game. Is that worth it compared to the alternative where you do not play your starters versus the Lions? You make sure everyone is ready to go in your first matchup, which would be 3 versus 6, which I think would then be the Rams, maybe? Rams might be 5. I don't know who 6 is. Mm-hmm. Would you rather, it's still be in Soldier Field, would you still rather do that with the possibility that your second game may be on the road? And there's no right answer per se.
I don't even know. I don't want to spend too much time on it. There's so much I want to unpack on this game, but yeah, 2 home games is nice.
Be Packers again, though. That's my only concern.
I don't know. It's hard for me to really think about that right now, like because there's so much on my mind about this game. And yeah, you needed this one. This would have been awesome because then you have a real shot at the 1 seed and it goes through Chicago. So I guess at this point, it's like, do you want 2 home games? Do you want to risk it? Ben wants to get his revenge. I bet the Lions, I don't know if they're gonna sit anybody. Are they going to play golf? Can Tyson Page go in there and win this? I mean, so there's a lot to talk about throughout the rest of the week. I think there's advantages to both sides. You might be rusty heading into that first playoff game. Having that much time off could get healthier. We'll see. I don't know. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but Jack, what are your thoughts?
Like what you just said. Like, obviously it'd be nice, but at the same time, actually this comment was pretty interesting. Was like, teams don't play well in the cold. Like Miami was notorious, Tua specifically, for not being able to play in cold. And like some guys are like that. Like I think there's a stat with Jared Goff about playing outdoors in winter, something like that when he was in LA. There's something like that. So obviously there's a benefit to it. But at the same time, like what Dave said, it nailed it. And it comes up all the time, every year, every sport is the team that has the bye or the team that has time off. They often it's hard. Yeah. It's hard to kind of get back into it compared to the consistency. So, I mean, to me,
look at the Lions last year. They had to buy and they got bounced the first game. So
exactly. See, and you never know because if they played the week before and they win a Super Bowl, you just don't know.
Yep. Yeah, it's a good point. It'll be interesting. That'll definitely be the storyline going into next week. But I know we got to talk about this game. But it'll be interesting to see what.
Well, and there's a comment here. Another thing is Caleb is able to make history. Like 270 yards, he can do that. Like he had his 330 today. We'll get to his overview, but 330. And a couple more, he probably had 20, 40 yards probably left out there with some drops and such. So, I mean, there's a lot to play for. There's also a lot to not play for, like injuries. That's a huge thing. So we'll get to that. But this was a tough one. I'm just so pissed off that we lost this game. I would have loved another storyline like with Caleb getting, would have been number 8 as far as 8th game winning drive this year, I believe. It would have been crazy. And it was an insane game. And I really don't understand how Brock Purdy is that good. I know that's weird to say. I just don't get it. Like he's just way better than I think a lot of people give him credit for, even me. But like I just don't. And I know the defense was really, really brutal today. But it's like I just don't understand how he is this good. He doesn't even seem like he's that elusive. But he just Austin Booker on skates, there's comments. I think it's probably seen it 3-4 times. That play where he avoids 2 Bears, Grady Jarrett and Austin Booker, and then throws a dot for a touchdown. It's like it was so frustrating.
Coaching, but look, we've seen that happens in Chicago, right? Like obviously Caleb had the talent, but what we saw from Caleb last year versus Caleb this year is about night and day. So you can see if you have the right coach, or you have let's be real, Kyle Shanahan's going to be a Hall of Fame head coach. He can take someone where they see they have the intangibles and be like, oh yeah, I can get you to reach your ceiling. And that's what you see. If Brock Purdy got drafted by Chicago under like Matt Eberflus, we probably don't ever see the Brock Purdy that we're seeing now. But him under a great mind like Kyle Shanahan, it's crazy to see. But I think that just goes to the testament of the NFL of like how important coaching is. And you're seeing it in San Fran. You're seeing it in Chicago. You saw what Ben Johnson did with Jared Goff in Detroit, right? So, or even like Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford was always like a dog in Detroit, but he didn't really get into like MVP conversations till 37 is once he was 37 years old under McVay. So that coaching is huge.
I think that's another thing that hurt was if Caleb goes down and they score a touchdown here, and you move to 12-4, and Caleb gets another game-winning drive, and where he puts up an insane performance. I mean, there would have been MVP talks. Like I guarantee you, if they won this game, there would have been MVP talks. Not that he deserves it or should win it. Stats, I know plays a huge role, but it's like we were witnessing potentially something historic. And the Bears were so close. Like I said, I'm proud of this team. I tweeted right off the like. This one's I'm gonna be sad, but it's like, man, we have a lot to play for. Jack, you mentioned earlier, playoffs are still on the way. But for this game, it was a tough loss. And I had CJ Gardner-Johnson. He just quote tweeted my tweet about that brutal call that took the interception away and then obviously put 7 points on the board the very next play. So he said, bullshit call, shaking my head. And I just totally agree with him. I think the refs were I think they had some bad calls. I feel like they were it was very ticky-tacky. Like, sure, I guess this one was, but it wasn't even impeding the player. Like, it just was weird. It was a weird call. And there was a couple of them against the Bears where I felt like they had a string. I think this crew actually was the most, they called the most penalties throughout the entire season leading up to this game. So it really makes, I guess it makes sense why they called some of it, because they've been consistent all year. But that one right there was just, I don't know how they called that one. It changed the game. The Bears, if you think about it, like I hate to be that guy, but it's like they get the interception. There's over 2 minutes left on the clock, I think. And they get the ball. They can go down, score, and then they get the ball back. Now they have to go down and score, but like the way this game was going, they were going to move that ball. And instead of it being 21-24 or 28-21 Bears, with the Bears having the ball, we obviously know what happened. So hate that one. There was a couple others, but and then there were some that were correct, but it's like, damn, they're calling it very
tight.
Soft. And then another thing, I want to kind of get to some, crazy, like some good stuff, but like Luther Burden, he's talking to the media after, he said how he gave everything. Like that man, even on the final play where he got hurt with his hamstring, if you look at that play on all 22, where they actually showed the sky cam. And so Luther, he didn't give up at all. Like you saw Caleb fighting for his life back there, trying to buy time. And then Caleb just at one point just throws it because he's run out of time. Mm-hmm. And the Niners only rushed 2. So, I mean, there's like everybody in the end zone. And Luther, he pushes I think it was the linebacker, 49ers linebacker, pushes him to the side, like just throws him like a rag doll. And he makes a diving effort. He almost got there. I think he tripped a little bit too on that one, but it's like the effort that he gave. I think I don't even know what his final stat line. It was like 130.
130 something, I think.
Just a superstar. And I'm so happy that we have him, because like he said that he was going to make everyone pay that passed on him. And you saw it today where it's like this guy, I think he has the legit capability, the talent to be the best receiver in this league. And that, I know that's crazy to say, but seriously, the playmaking ability, he had a drop too, similar to Loveland, where it's very uncharacteristic.
He made
but
up
these,
for it,
the
rookies,
third down the young guy.
So he made up for it though on that third down catch, and he juked the dude out of his shoes and got that clutch third down on the final drive. Yeah. So
he looks
fantastic,
dangerous. But the whole rookie class, shout out to Ryan Poles, the Manungai, Ozzie Trapillo, even Kyle Manungai, Luther, and Colston. Then I'm forgetting somebody, Colston Loveland. Yeah, it's just an incredible performance from this rookie class so far this season. And so, not upset about the loss, but wanted this one bad, dude. Wanted this one so bad.
Yeah, hurts a little bit.
And if it makes you feel any better, it doesn't even mean that we would have got the 1 seed, because we still would have had to have the 49ers beat Seattle. So it's like, it's not like,
but you don't have the opportunity now.
No, I know that. I'm saying though, it's not like we weren't fully in the driver's seat. So We still had to get help from the 49ers.
But you're eliminated now, so there's no chance. And then also
sure.
now you don't even lock up the 2 seed. So, and I know there's pros and cons. I get that, but 2 playoff games is pretty nice at home. So
for sure. At least we have one. It's crazy though. This is like Jack said, this is all because of how expectations have changed.
I would love to see this offense click for 4 quarters. Did they not click?
It's
for 4 quarters? What are you talking about?
Gotta be.
They scored 14 in the first, and they scored 14.
Oh my gosh, it has to be Rachel, and you're getting me. It's 11:41. You're gonna get me because
did you see
this one? I'm on 10 on a lot of these comments today, man.
Did you guys see how historic of the game this was? I think they mentioned on the call where basically first time in NFL history it went 7-7, 14-14, 21-21, 28-28, 35-35. That never been done in NFL history.
It was a literal fight. That's what I meant though. It's a really, really good game. Like, it's not, if we were blown out, if it was week 2 Lions and we had the same exact kind of game, it would be so different. We just played the 49ers in Levi Stadium as good as you possibly could.
Yeah. Literally one play away.
One play away.
Well, at least offensively. I think our defense was, we might as well have no one out there, but
we'll talk about that on the grades. That'll be good. That'll be good stuff there.
Jesus. But I think how they competed, I know obviously you want to win the game, but how they competed and how they have competed on the national stage has changed the narrative, which is important. I really believe so about the Bears. Because the narrative also changes and the confidence changes inside the locker room. Though they lost, I would guarantee the guys in the locker room feel like, we can beat this team, right? And Bears teams of the past, they may have said that, but the results didn't show it. And so I still, even though the defense didn't look good this game, right? If they were to face the 49ers again, there's still a good chance where it's like, hey, this team could find a way to pull off a win. I doubt the defense would play as bad. Maybe the offense regresses a little bit, but I still feel like they have, other than the Detroit game, they have fought in every game to a point where I felt like they could beat the team in front of them. And that's what you want. That's what good teams are. And that's why they won the NFC North, and that's why they're second or third in the NFC. That's all you
can ahead of schedule too. I saw a comment here with Luther because I know we talked about it, but someone said, what was it? I think it was the guy we had, Zach Jacobson. He was on our show last year, Packers reporter. He goes, watching Luther Burden eclipse 30% of Matthew Golden's receiving yardage in one game.
I think Golden has 0 touchdowns too in the season, which is crazy.
Yeah, I mean touchdowns are like strange for me. Like I understand, like he should probably have a couple, but it's like
but it's
sometimes.
Bad. It's bad. Like I only say that because when you look at the list of first round, I think some Packers fan tweet or something, but like first round wide receivers in NFL history that ended the season with 1 or less touchdowns, it's like bust category all the way through. Now I'm not saying that. I have no idea. There's always outliers, but it's not good company that he's in. Like it's 17 games. You figure you could trip into the end zone once, right? So
yeah.
I think Caleb has 4 touchdowns than Golden receiving touchdowns. So that should tell you everything you need to know.
Anyways, I don't give a shit about the Packers. I just thought that was funny.
No, it is hilarious.
Matthew Golden, man, he is just a punching bag.
It's not.
It reminds me of, it's bad. It's rough.
You know, it's funny though. This last comment on it, but this will probably make the Packers not want to pick a wide receiver in the first round for another 20 years. Because remember, they hadn't done it in 20 years. Then they did it. And they're like, well, that didn't work out. And so probably won't do it.
Could have had Luther. I guarantee you, Luther, that's one of the names. He's just like, he can't believe it. But man, it fuels him. So, and then also Caleb today, I know we haven't really talked about, we're going to get to his stat line, but I mean, laser beams, this guy, and I cannot stand Chris Collinsworth. I actually kind of like him sometimes, but this game, like
I agree with
4, 5, 6, 7 throws, but you know, he makes all like a dozen insane throws, but let's focus on the 2. Yeah. I got to hit those. And I get that, but it's like, wow, it felt, I mean, Purdy breathed, and he's just like, "Wow, look at Purdy go!" Like, you know, he was picked last. Like, I just could not believe. I can't, and it's so obvious. Troy Aikman, same thing. They have something against this guy.
Well, you know what Troy's for? That's because Caleb skipped, or not. I don't want to say skip, but basically he didn't meet up with them twice. So there's definitely some beef there. I don't know what Collinsworth, but there's definitely some beef with Troy and Caleb. But I will say this: like, I agree. I agree, like he should have hit those, but Caleb probably had his best game. So it's hard to, like, you can obviously critique it, but it's like the man balled the hell out. Should he have made that easy crosser from Devin Duvernay? He should have. That would have easily been a touchdown. He didn't hit it, and that's okay. He rolled out, kind of sailed it, and it happens. Your quarterbacks don't bat 100%. It'd be different, like you said, Dave, if the context of the rest of the game was like, oh, he's under 50%. He's not really making plays across, like he's just missing passes. Then you'd get super upset about the easy ones. But the dude had at least 5 plays. You're like, oh my God, only you can make that type of throw. And so that's just something you got to deal with. He's not a perfect player. This is a second-year quarterback. He'll work on it. And even still, you don't think Patrick Mahomes misses some easy ones? It happens. It's the NFL. These are humans. So, but I get you. That can be annoying when your dude just put up his career, or season high numbers.
Yeah.
And basically looked efficient as hell.
Epic game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Interesting stuff. All right, let's probably get to our first timeout here, and then we'll actually go into the breakdown of the game. First off, thank you for watching the BFR Podcast, the #1 show for the fans by the fans. If this is your first time here, please like and subscribe, as it just helps our show grow and helps the algorithm get this show out to other awesome, amazing Bear fans like y'all as we're trying to grow this community. If this is your first time, also leave a hashtag #NewFaceGang in the chat. That's hashtag #NewFaceGang in the chat, and we'll give you a shout out before the end of the show. And if this is not your first time, this is your second time, you've watched over 100 episodes or anything in between, then you are a true OG, and we want to show you some love as well. So please leave a hashtag OG in the chat, and we'll make sure to give you a shout out before the end of the show. Thank y'all for all the support for the #1 show for the fans by the fans, the BFR Podcast. Now let's get back to the show. Absolutely. All right, let's get into the breakdown here, the game recap, though none of us really want to be reminded. But as we all know, Bears lose 42-38 on the last second play. Craziest game I've seen, 11 touchdowns each. I mean, 11 total touchdowns in the game, and that is like crazy to think of. And literally the difference in the game was they had 6, we had 5 in a field goal, and so that's what it came down to. But look at these passing yards, 330, definitely the highest for the Bears this year. The Packers, not the Packers, sorry, I have a misspelling there, but the 49ers had 296. This is the big one. The Bears defense did a better job in the second half, but in the first half, I think CMC had nearly 100 total yards in the first half. I think in the first half, the Bears defense gave up 337. Yes, 337 total yards and 26 first downs, or maybe it's 22 first downs. That's a stat line of a typical full game. And they gave that up in the first half, which is crazy to think of. Bears had 110 rushing yards. Not bad on the rushing yards. We had 26 first downs to their 32. We actually won the turnover margin and still lost the game. And we had one more sack than they did, and we still lost the game. Like, the defense was just Swiss cheese tonight. And then looking at Caleb Williams, looked probably one of his best games, 25 for 42, which I think has him around 60% or maybe slightly under. Pass yards, 330. 2 touchdowns, great to see. 0 interceptions. So again, the man does not turn the ball over. 18 rushing yards with a QB rating of 100.3. Also, shout out to this O-line again. He did not get sacked. And I don't think there was even a time where like he even did some sort of like evasion, because I don't think he got pressured that often. And when he did, he delivered. So now let's take a look at the 4K tracker, though. Where does this put him? This is great. We said he had to get at least one 300-yard game for him to be close. And he is really, really close. As you can see here, he had 330 this week, which means he needs to get 269 to get it. His year-to-date average is 233, and obviously what he needs is 235. So literally, this goes into that point. Do you play him so he can break franchise records? Like, is that important? It could be. Or do you just say, hey, maybe we just want to make sure everyone's healthy so we can get ready for the home game? That'll be an interesting choice. I don't know what I would go with, but that 270 is definitely feasible.
Oh, no. Yeah, you go for it. I think you go for it. Like, I don't know.
It's Detroit, too. You made a good point about the revenge game. Like, maybe that means something. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see that.
Yeah, and I think your numbers are slightly. I know you get him. I think it's only 270 he needs.
Oh, I had 269, so maybe I was off by 1 yard. It's probably like rounding, so
okay.
I had 269.
I think it's 270.
Okay,
I've seen 270, but maybe they're rounding up.
Either way, you can get that easily. You know what I mean?
But he got 330. I knew he was gonna have a big game today. I had a feeling, and with obviously the 49ers defense we saw today, not great, missing for Fred Warner as well, and they went down with a couple injuries. But I think Caleb, he can light it up, especially if I don't even know if the Lions are going to play. Like they're going to play like their starters.
Well, they're also their defense.
You can get that in the first half, and then you can sit them, and then it's like best of both worlds.
Yeah, their defense is also very injured, so it's like maybe they may not have a lot of guys in there. So we'll see. I think it might mean something, especially since they got beat 52 to what? What was it? 52 to 13 or something week 2? I can't remember. Yeah, not great. So I think it definitely means something. And it makes a good point. You do not have the second seed secured yet. You got to win to lock that in, and 2 home games would be huge. Okay, getting to the last tracker here. We have our QBR tracker for Caleb. And honestly, this has been pretty great to see. Look at that. Those last 3 games, he's had a QBR rating of 100 or above. That's great to see. Getting hot at the right time, going into the playoffs. You can't ask for kind of a better performance from him all around. So it's been a nice string of the past 4 games. And this one, he actually played hot from the beginning, too. Typically, it was like a tale of 2 halves where it's like, okay, first half, the offense isn't really going. And then, Iceman comes out in the fourth quarter and delivers how you need to. But he was hot throughout the game.
Yeah. What a game.
This is a niche thing here, but I think to me, it's cool that like other teams don't want to be down to us going into the 2-minute warning. Isn't that kind of dope? Like I thought of that earlier, and Mike Tirico said something about that too. He's like, this is the time where and they showed the graphic of the Bears on the 6 game, or they've won 6 games losing at the 2-minute warning. It's kind of cool because last year we were the opposite. The year before that we were the opposite. The year before that we were the opposite. Like it just never happened. We'd lose, and then we'd lose in a horrible fashion. Like we'd be there, we'd have the game in our hands, and we wouldn't use all of our timeouts, and we'd hold them for
Yeah.
So it's I don't know. There's redeeming things, I guess, is my point. Like there's good things to look at.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if it was Chris Collinsworth if he actually said this, because if it was, I thought I agreed with him. He said that I think the Bears would rather be exactly where they're at right now with that team left and to go score. And then where the 49ers, where they're probably like, we don't want to be in this scenario. And obviously, credit to them. They made a play. I cannot believe they only sent 2 on that final play.
And yet they still got pressure. Sent 2. And Ozzie got beat, which is crazy.
The left side.
On the left side. Ben
also said they didn't get a line properly, and that was after a timeout. But he also said it was on him, not on Caleb. Basically, the way that I guess they were communicating. So that was kind of shocking.
What about this though? That hook and ladder, love that play. That was great, right? The Bills did it today to convert a big 4th down. We're seeing more and more of it in the NFL. But if you're DeAndre Swift, I know he's fighting for the first down. But getting out of bounds, it was 2nd and 10, was probably more important. Your clock would have been stopped probably around 15 seconds, and it probably would have been like 3rd and 3.
I see what you're saying, but that was just a great play by the defense.
For sure. Well,
I love that.
I just
wonder if you call it every time.
No, I like the play call. I'm wondering though if it's more important to.
I don't think he's getting out. Because there's a safety over on the right side or a corner, whoever it was. I don't think he would get out of there. I think he was just like, I'm just going to get some yards. The thing that sucked is about 4 or 5 49ers jumped on him. So it was like
the clock.
It was hell to get him up. That took about 3-4 seconds there that hook and ladder, I thought they were scoring. I really did. When I saw him flip that ball, I said, oh my God. But again, you got to give credit to that defense. Like they made a stop, and it was always going to come down to which defense could make a play. And I mean, it's so weird how, to get the interception for, pick 6 essentially, and then do absolutely nothing like the rest of the way. I just could not. I thought this was going to I thought this defense was going to step up and have a couple, things. But they didn't make them punt twice.
As I say, no, they literally had 3 good plays. They had a pick 6 to start the game, the first play. And they made him punt twice. That is it.
And then Austin Booker, he had that pressure on 3rd down late in the game, made them force the punt. Then we went down until we kicked the field goal, and I knew it. I was like, that's tough. That was tough. Settling for 3 there. But you had your opportunity. And like I said, the Bears are exactly probably where they wanted to be. And I like what Caleb said after the game. He said that, it showed tonight, like we already knew it, but like we're forced to be reckoned with. Like we can go against anybody. And we proved that again today. And I like that attitude because I think the Bears, I think they see themselves that way. Another thing that sucks about this loss that's super probably missing all of it is we get no locker room video. We get no, any of that. And that's like a dopamine hit. Like you wait for it, and that's something here that we're just not going to get to see. So we'll see. Maybe playoff, that would be nice. Locker room video would be sick if we get one of those. But
huge.
I think the Bears
just a playoff win, it would be huge.
Yeah. The thing is, you got to take advantage of this year. Like I don't want to I'm not going to be like satisfied like with just like, get to the playoffs. I'm happy. Like I think they have a really good shot to go and make some noise in the playoffs and be a team. Like you look at the Giants years and years ago, Eli Manning. Now the defense is really good, but it's like they went in, they were hot. I think the Bears, they lost today, but they are a really, really good team. And I think if they can, make some noise, man. I think they're a surprise. Like they've already surprised so many teams, but now we're seeing a team that can win in multiple ways. The defense scares me, but it's like I trust this team. They didn't outscore the 49ers today, but damn, they were close. And so we'll see. And this isn't San Francisco. They never play well here, and they went out and just battled. Like again, it's just not the same old Bears, and they continue to prove that to us.
Yeah, I think having all the other positive context makes us feel good about this team. Because like Jack said, if we were 5-12, we'd walk away being like, what? This is the same old Bears. They can't find a way to win the game. But we've seen it before. This was the first. I don't think anyone would talk about. This is the first game. Well, no, second one. Packers came down to the last play. They didn't convert. This one came down to the last play. They didn't convert. Both of them in the red zone. But they're 6 for 8 when it comes to being down and marching, having the last drive and marching down. I'll take that any day of the week. That's probably way higher than the NFL average. So this team can definitely fight. And it's not only did they lose, but they lost on like the last play. So they're literally right there, 2 plays away from having 2 more wins, So I agree with you. This team gives you a lot more hope and optimism that when it becomes crunch time, whether it's a crucial 4th down, late half, late end of game, this team gives you hope that your quarterback and the rest of this offense at least will be able to deliver. So I don't know about the defense. I'm hoping they get some takeaways early so then we have a lead. But this offense, I always feel good with the ball in their hand with with 2 minutes on the clock, which I've never felt before. I don't know in my life. If you go back to 2006, the defense was leading the charge.
Yeah. I don't know. I still get nervous. I hear people say, I'm not nervous. Like this whole, like when we got the ball back at the final drive, I was still nervous. I was like, there's no way they're going to pull this out again. And unfortunately I was right this time, but it was just, it was very funny. I was looking at a couple people after the game. Like so when the Bears started that drive, 16 minutes, and I think, Jack, you texted us in the group chat. You're like, damn, that was a long game. And I went 16 minutes without tweeting because I just was locked in watching every play of that drive. And there's like so many other Bears media where they did not tweet for a little bit. I don't think I watching that drive. It cracks me up. Like it was just a moment of like everything stood still and we're just watching this team march down the field. And I mean, to make so many, you go on that drive. It's like the only play they did not make was the final one. Like when they needed to, 3rd, 4th down, they made a play. Luther, Colston, it was unbelievable. And man, DJ Moore, not a flu game. Like he had a great game last week, and I know he was sick going into this, and then Darnell Wright as well. But I think he had 1 catch, 7 yards. Is that right?
Well, he only had he only had 2 targets. One of them I thought was a drop. I thought one was a DPI where he got hit before. They didn't call it. They said like it was the tangling of the feet, and then he had 1 other target for like 8 yards.
Yeah.
But also he just got put on so that means he must have been like pretty sick because they just put him on the injury report. So I'm sure he felt not great.
Well, Zacchaeus didn't even play.
Right.
And he got put on the same time. So
yeah. So it was a tough one with that flu bug. Hopefully all
shout out to Darnell Wright though, flying in today. Time difference from Chicago to California. He comes in, big man, no pressures. Just a dog. It's just crazy to me that he just comes in. He was sick and he just balls out like that with 1 arm. That guy, what a draft pick.
As I say, another shout to Ryan Poles, man. He's been some of his stuff been looking good from the last 2 drafts.
Yeah. But
definitely
hey,
crazy.
A lot of things to still be positive. I'm honestly, I got so used to it the last few years, like losing games like these where I was able to like handle myself, like perspective, all that stuff. I'll be honest, this one threw me for a loop because I just could not believe we lost it. So I'm still, what's this week 17? Is that right?
Yep.
And I just got used to the Bears, winning. from the Bengals to the Raiders, Green Bay, and now this one. So
that's what's fun though. Is like this is the first year of it. So I mean, hopefully all goes well. We got 5.
It feels sustainable.
Yeah, right. Feels sustainable.
Can we not have like 10 games though, where it comes down to the last 2 minutes? That'd be nice. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Look, you're gonna have some. It's the NFL. You're gonna have some, but this year has been crazy. Not only have we been winning a lot of them, we've played in probably half of our games have come down to the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, it'd be nice to put engagement for a bit and get a few snaps in there. We can all sit back. We can turn off the game early if we want.
Nice. I would love to see like a Patriots Jets game today where you have 35. It's 35-3 in the first half. And it's like, okay, we can just turn it. Like that would also. I would also like a couple of those. I'm not complaining because this team has been great and the season's been fun. But yeah, we don't need 10 games that come down to last minute. Especially like it's good that it happened this year because again, the most important part was figuring out if our coach and quarterback combo was the right one. So this was like the perfect test. A season that is full of very high crucial situations, and they just keep checking the box. So it's good it's happening early. So now we can kind of be like, all right, we got it. But going into next year, let's just kind of destroy some teams. I would love that. Kind of like what Ben Johnson and the Lions did when they were hot for their 2 seasons. They had tons of games they spanked people. So we need some of those. And I get it. It's the first year. They're figuring things out, but hopefully it's not so many. I'm like, I don't want to hear cardiac bears anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm over that. I'm good.
Yeah. So been crazy stuff. All right, let's get to our second time out here, and then we're going to get to our grades of the games and then final thoughts. Sorry, wrong one. All right, before we close out the show, I got to tell you about some awesome stuff that we have cooked up on the BFRstore.com. As you can see here, we have hats, hoodies, mugs, stickers, a whole bunch of fire stuff, and we're always working on new creative designs, maybe jerseys coming. Yeah, who knows? But you can check it all out at thebfrstore.com. All the proceeds from the merch store just goes back right into the show. And plus, we want to give you fire stuff because we want to look fly all the time. And we want y'all to look fly as well. So if you want to support the BFR show, go to thebfrstore.com. We appreciate all the love and support. Now let's get back to the show. Absolutely. We do appreciate it. Dave and I are wearing some of the merch right now. So if you guys want to go to the store and rep, appreciate it so much. Again, all the proceeds just go back in so we can keep giving y'all fire content. All right, boys, you guys ready for the grades of the game? I'll go ahead and kick it off here. I feel like we're kind of
also bold prediction. Got it correct. We didn't even talk about that.
We both did. That's 2 weeks in a row now.
42 minutes in the show. We didn't talk about that. Look at us.
No, that's great. That's great. We're doing well. So. Which is what we needed because our bold takes, we had a good string of like 4 games where we didn't get any of those right. Okay, talk about getting right though. These grades have to be perfect. We have A for offense because I would give A+ if they scored on every drive because we kind of need them to like every touchdown. And obviously that last drive is unfortunate. Defense though, F- across the board. Pick 6 is cool, but anytime you give up 42 points, I can't. You can't get a good grade. I'm sorry. In today's NFL, that's crazy. Special teams, I'm going to give a B+. I think Torrey Taylor was fantastic. Cairo, obviously, doing what he does. He was great. But Josh Blackwell on 2 of the returns, was hesitant in coming out. And when he did that, we ended up starting the drive on, the 22 and I believe the 20, which is not great for the modern-day NFL kickoff, especially if it's in the end zone, dude. If you just take a knee, you get at the 35. So that's what's docking us there. Coaching, I'm going to give a B. Maybe it's obviously horrible for Dennis Allen. It just was not a good scheme. I think he should have blitzed more, in my opinion. Purdy had too much time, so you got some pressure. I know he did more in the second half, but the first half he should have sent more. And then also I would say that because of the misalignment at the end or not being able to make sure you're ready to go, maybe they should have did a play where it was more to the sideline. They can get out of bounds. I had to dock it there. Just the time management was just it wasn't perfect, and I'm not blaming them per se, but it did run a lot of clock off right there, and we kind of we only had one shot at the end zone with 4 seconds. So because of that, I got to give it B. But overall, Ben Johnson did a pretty good job.
You're penalizing the hook and ladder.
If
it works, you're not penalizing it, right?
I mean, look, if it works, it works.
I get it.
And I like the play call.
Yeah.
I wish it was to the weak side so he could get out of bounds. I don't know.
You just at some point you just gotta. That's where you gotta tip the hat to just the Niners defense.
They played a good time.
They made 2 great plays at the end of the game. That hook and ladder scores on a lot of teams, in my opinion. They stayed disciplined, and it's just that's Ben Johnson for you. Like he cooked it up. It's just it shocks me that defense made a play like that, considering they were just lost for most of the game. Kyle Shanahan, Ben Johnson had these guys just in shambles for about honestly the entire game. Also, great minds. The fact that we have two of those guys, just one in Chicago, and then Kyle Shanahan, of course, he's done it for a while. But man,
yeah, I would say that Ben Johnson he's not obviously Shanahan yet because Shanahan has a longer resume, been in the league for longer. But if you're going 1, 2, 3 for offensive minds in the NFL, I think it's already fair to go Shanahan 1, McVay 2. You could do vice versa depending on the week because they're both great. And I think easily Ben is 3 already so far.
What Ben's doing though too in year one as a head coach, because there's so much that goes on being a head coach, from everything in the building to the day-to-day operations, and then of course he's also in charge of the offense. Like I know Delkin Doyle, he does a lot of the nitty-gritty. Like he has a job, but it's like
for sure
for Ben to be able to do all that and still be elite at his like side of the ball. It's impressive, especially for being year one. Like it hasn't taken any time. It really is just like every week has continued to get better for the most part, except for maybe a couple times this year where they've taken a step back slightly, but it's been impressive. So I think those are fair grades. I think mine are close.
Yeah, I think we're all near the same. And I do want to say this. McVay, when he came into the league, he kind of sparked it right away in the same way Ben Johnson does. So we're hoping that's the path we see. But Kyle Shanahan, it took a couple years. But he's proven that, like, obviously a great offensive mind. Either way, I think the Bears nailed it right. They've got a guy. They got the quarterback. They got the head coach. And I think that's going to lead to hopefully next 10 to 15 years of at least sustainable success at some point, like Green Bay was used to.
Yeah.
So. All right, let's get to your grades here, Dave, and see what you have.
Yeah, I'll keep them quick. A for the offense, defense, F. God, that defense, it very disappointing. Even Tremaine Edmonds, I'm not even gonna go into it. Special teams, B. They're okay. Santos, they didn't miss any. There was a lot of PATs, for him. He didn't miss one. Thank you, God. And then coaching, I'm going to go to C. I think special teams. I like what you said, pointing out some of the kickoffs. Taking it and only getting to the 20 it's a disgrace. Like you should not have that happen. It happened, I think, twice too.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
Then there's also, I think, kicked it out of bounds, right?
Yeah, but it only went to the 25. That was one I was a little confused on. They threw the flag. But it was after the 49ers got penalized on the PAT, so there's the 15 yards. So I wasn't really sure what that was. I'm going to have to go back and get clarification.
Well, we'll see. It's hard to, I would say coaching just overall C that, and it's really tanked because of Dennis Allen. I don't think he had a great day to day as a DC. So I'll leave it at that. Jack, what do you got for us?
Yeah, it's going to be very similar. Offense killed it. Like they played really well. We went into that a billion times, so I don't need to go too much. Defense, it was a failure all around. It really, like the secondary, it was no good. Nashawn was constantly cooked, like you said at the start of the show, Dave. Defensive line is horrific. It's again, we could talk about it for hours. The Montez Sweat thing specifically frustrates me because we got him to kind of be that big name on defense, and he just hasn't lived up to it. We just have no pressure. Austin had a sack, but then besides that, I mean, there was just nothing else. Brock was running all over us. Special teams killed it. Torrey Taylor was awesome. He's the best player on our whole team. Cairo made PATs, which was huge, and a field goal. And coaching sucked. Yeah, Dennis Allen let us down big today. There was just no plan, like you said. Christian McCaffrey obviously is like going to be the focal point, and he, I think, had 180 total yards, something like that. And they're without Kittle. Ricky Pearsall's first game back. Like it was just, they were beat down. And a lot of the Niners fans were saying that on Twitter before the game. They were just beat to pieces. Like they just didn't have their guys, and we still let them walk all over and score 40 plus on us.
We forgot about one important piece, Jack. They also lost their Hall of Famer, Trent Williams. So when he went out the first drive, I'm like, okay, here we go. D-line's going to be able to feast. Not at all. Also, I will say this. I've realized a lot of times they were chipping our DNs, particularly Montez. He was dealing with a lot of double teams. So I think they were trying to shut him down. And I know Booker still had a good game, but it still wasn't.
Well, he never turned on. Like They shut anything down.
So I wonder what the pressures were, though, because typically, even on games where it looks like Montez didn't do enough, he like ends up being the only guy who got any pressure. So
statistically, he's having a decent year. He really came on like in the last probably 8 games or so. But
it was like his first game in a minute.
They didn't send enough. They didn't send CJ Gardner enough. They didn't send. I think Jalen. I don't think. Did he? How many snaps did Jalen Johnson?
Yeah, it was a snap.
Something was off.
I was wondering that too.
He's been around. I think he's been averaging like 65% of the snap counts. Yeah. So it's still not a lot.
Stevenson came in and he started the second half, so it was odd.
Also, I think they sent the pressure. I'm trying to remember. Obviously, we'll have to go back and watch the film, but I think they sent the 2 times I remember them sending it. It was Jaquan Brisker, and he got blocked immediately. So the 2 times they blitzed, we still got 0 pressure, and obviously that's an issue. So we didn't blitz a lot, and when we did, it didn't do anything. So, on the other side, you saw when the 49ers blitzed, almost every time it ended up being an incompletion or Caleb Williams had to throw it away. Almost every time. There was, I think, 1 or 2 he completed, but that's just the tail of the game. Their defense showed up when it needed to, which is crazy because it's the bottom 5 defense, and our defense didn't. So, and we're middle of the pack.
I think the Bears' turnovers have hit a very, very. This defense is not good, but they take the ball away at an elite rate. They should have had 2 picks today. I think the Bears win that. If that pick,
for sure.
If CJ, if that's not taken off, I think the Bears win this game. But the Bears have allowed 42 plus points in 3 games this season. It's the most in the NFL. So this team,
they're the definition of bend don't break. And I know Dennis Allen wasn't his best game for sure. Wasn't Dennis Allen's best game, but to be honest, he has these guys playing better than what I was going to expect, especially with how much injuries they've had throughout the season and with how
Noah Sewell went down today.
Bad our D-line is. Especially the interior pressure. Like I know Grady Jarrett was playing better at recent, but we're not getting any pressure from the interior, so that pocket's not collapsing quickly. So
right, and then that's the problem because then again to watch film will be interesting because I feel like we were constantly in zone, but then when you're in zone with no pressure, you have all day to find. Like that's why what Dave said, and that like every throw looked wide open. It kind of works that way because we have no pressure, and then they just
middle of the field,
middle field every time. That Tampa too. Also, the linebackers played their worst game. There were so many times where they were biting. There was basically a route that come in and sit down right in the center, and you'd see all 3 linebackers or at least 2 linebackers come down on that player, which then left the back middle wide open. And it's like, come on, bro. So obviously that's the weakness of a Tampa too, but that happened like over and over again. All those big plays. And I think it was like Ricky Purcell, like almost every time. So
every time.
Not great.
Could not believe it. I said, who the hell is this guy? And then don't even get me started on their Tongas, the damn tight end.
Yeah, Tongas.
No, that was Greg Olsen playing. Like, it was ridiculous, dude. I could not believe that we couldn't stop him. Anyways, but let's move on. I want to get to. I know we have some voicemails, right? Do we have?
Yeah, we definitely do. Yes, we do. We definitely got. Oh yeah, for sure. Let's get to the voicemails here. Then we appreciate everyone sending them in. If you sent them in the past 10 minutes or so, I definitely don't have them, so we'll play them for our next show. But we do have a good amount here. We're gonna start with Mark. He sent one in at halftime. So we're going to play that one, and then we'll go to his one that he had at the end of the game. So let's see what you got up here, Mark.
Boys, I do not like this game. 28-21 is not fun, bro. Purdy and McCaffrey are dicing us up like it's child's play. Dennis Allen needs to get these boys straightened out at halftime. Or else. Caleb, love you, man. Deep balls are awesome. Keep it going. I'm out.
It's going to be interesting to think what it says at the end because none of that got better.
Has improved tremendously.
You remember last year when that really was like the main concern?
This year, early on.
I'm saying, that's true. Yeah, you're right. Like
we kind of had issues there, but yeah, you're right, Fick. It's gotten way better, night and day.
Yeah, I think those are like his 2 big improvements. Less sacks, obviously, 68 down to 25 or something like that. And then obviously his deep ball accuracy. It'll be interesting to see what will be the next 2 things for next season. So I expect to see some improvements as well. But thank you, Mark. Let's go to your end game speech here.
Well, it caught up with us, boys. It caught up with us. Eventually, we weren't going to be able to win a game on a game-winning drive. It was bound to catch up with us. Caleb, Loveland, Luther Bird, especially Luther Bird, man, that guy's a dog, man. Woo! I love me some Burden, bro. Defense? What the fuck? Like, what the fuck was that? Dennis Allen, get him back. Get those guys locked back in. Got to get back against the Detroit Lions next week. Bear down, the Bears. I'm out.
Love it. Thank you. I think we all love Burden. There's just something about him. I think he's just like feisty and kind of fun to cheer for.
He's just a superstar.
Yeah.
He's a guy that's like, he reminds me of like Justin Jefferson, not in the way that he plays, but just like he has that ability where it's like he's just the best player on the field. He's just that good, and I think he can be that week in, week out. So
he's like if Pickens play hard every play. That's what Luther Burden is. You know what I mean?
But he blocks. He blocks his ass off too. Like there was a play, so he pancakes a corner, and then about, I think it was 2 plays later, he catches that deep ball from Caleb. It's like Ben, and that's Ben Johnson for you. It's no rock or no block, no rock, right? And this team embodies it from top to bottom, and it's just so impressive. And how bought in everybody is. And Luther, man, awesome. But I love it, right? After the game, he's talking to the media, and then his IG has about 8-9 different stories of people talking about him. I love his mentality. It's awesome. It's awesome.
You need that in a wide receiver. Like, obviously, you don't want it to be detrimental to the team. You don't want the diva stuff where it's like causing drama like Pickens has had, but you need your guy to be that, because that's what, in my opinion, it doesn't mean they can't be good without that. But like, if there's one position where you need him to be a little bit extra, that's definitely wide receiber. So I'm excited to see what he does. Hopefully
he 617 yards. He just became a focal point.
Yeah.
Like what, 4 weeks ago?
You know what's crazy too? Like 617 is 617 yards is great. Rome Odunze had what, like 800, 700, right? Last season.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we didn't really talk about that. So I'm actually excited. I know we don't want to look too far in the future, but like a healthy Rome, a healthy Luther, and I think DJ will still be on the team. I actually think this group will be even more dangerous next year, which is crazy to think about. So, all right, I appreciate the voicemails, Mark. Let's go to Jamie next.
Oh, man, what a game. A few mistakes, we can clean it up, but I'm not afraid of anybody in this league. We can beat anyone, especially if it's close in the fourth quarter. Didn't come out on top this time, but give us another chance and we will. I think every other team in the league should fear playing us in the playoffs. Let's get it. Bear down.
Perfectly said, Jamie. Yeah, that's what we were talking about to start the show, so I totally agree. All right, let's get Jerome from Darien.
Man, that's a disappointing loss, but it is what it is. Bears are still the division champions. God, it's Jerome from Darien. I wish we could have won that game, but you know what? It's okay. Came up a little short. Still going to have a home playoff game. Damn, man. So close again. So close. But you know what? I'm not mad. I just wish the defense would have actually tackled Brock Purdy tonight. They do that. It's a different game. Bear down, baby.
Appreciate it. That's spot on. Absolutely spot on. Let's go to Gage next.
I can't even be mad. That was a game, man. That felt like watching a fucking high-powered offense in a playoff game. That was like some Patrick Mahomes shit. That was some damn. Not even mad. You know what? Rest up. Get everybody healthy for the playoffs. The fucking Lions game doesn't even matter anymore. Let's go Bears.
Appreciate it, Gage. Let's go to Tony next.
Kind of a disappointing way to end the game, but hey, the offense was amazing tonight. We were showing performances like we've never done before. Defense just needed to step up, but hey, we play Detroit next week. Let's get us that number 2 spot so we can go against the Packers once again. I'm not afraid to face them. Let's go. Bear down.
Appreciate it, Tony. Let's go Michael from across the pond, which means you're probably watching this game at like 3 a.m.
Woke up with 2 minutes to go. What a crazy end of the game. Held our own against a very good team. Disappointing we lost, but at the same time, we did well. On to next week, on to playoffs, on to the Super Bowl. Bear down.
Appreciate it, Michael. And then we'll end it here with Phil.
No poem today. I just have something to say. Today was an awesome game. Yes, Our defense couldn't stop a cold. But at the end of the day, when's the last time we watched the Bears go toe-to-toe with another heavyweight and give them all they can handle? And we lost on the last play of the game. That shit can go any way. It could have gone either way. It didn't go our way. But I'm proud of the boys. Let's rest next week. And let's get ready for the playoffs. And we can play with anybody, my friends. Bear down.
Love it. I think that might be the first time that since we've been doing voicemails, that after a loss, there wasn't one negative one. Not one. Everyone feels like good. I was just like, as they should. That's how we feel as well. But it's just like, oh, interesting. And that's because I think, we truly believe that even though we lost, we just lost to a good team. The coin didn't flip our way this game. And, maybe it will next time. So interesting time, boys. This is, I don't know how you guys feel. Jack, let me ask you, it still kind of feels surreal. Like, I have people come up to me, obviously I know do the show, my friends, things like that. And they're like, man, the Bears are good. And I'm like, oh shit, you're right. I'm just still not used to it. Or even hearing those voicemails and being like, oh, you can lose a game and not want to rip out every single piece of your hair because you still have a good core. You have your quarterback and you trust your head coach.
That's very surreal. I was sitting with my buddy today watching the game, and he's a Broncos fan, and he was like, I can't believe we let Luther Burden fall this far. And it's like, even the small things like Luther Burden, that is such a big W. We have the best building block you could possibly have, I think, in the whole league. I know that there's obviously big names, you have a Mahomes, you have Josh, you have all these guys for years to go. But I am talking coaching staff. I think it looks good. Obviously, it didn't look great today, but in the big picture, grand scheme of things, awesome coaching staff. The offense is great. We're young for the most part. The defense has decent pieces. We'll build on it through drafts. There's going to be a draft every season. We have something so special here. And so, like you said, guys coming up to me and saying the Bears look good, or you guys think we had the 1 seed prior to this game, that's crazy to think about. It's very, very surreal. It's a great word to use. Very surreal.
Yeah, and I think that's why I think people are kind of grateful. You know what I mean? That's why these voicemails, you're like, oh, no, we're still the NFC North champ. You want to win, but it's you're still the NFC North champs. You're still the 2nd or 3rd seed. You still get a home game. So it's a great position to be in. It's a great position to be in. But Dave, how do you feel? Does it still kind of feel when people bring it up oh?
No, I mean, this Bears team, they've proven me wrong so many times this year. I feel like, the only thing that's a little bit surreal to me is the longevity factor. It feels different. It feels way different than 2018. I remember it feeling that way. The defense is great, still unsure about the quarterback. I have no doubt about Caleb or Ben. And they're loaded with their draft capital. They can make a move. This team is so good. I will say this. I'm going to be pulling my hair out. Even if we lose, if we lose a playoff game or when we do, whatever it might be, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be livid because this team is so good. I want to continue to see this run similar to this outcome today, where it's I want to see them continue to win these type of games. So when they don't, it's going to be upsetting, but man, yeah, you're 100% right. Both of you guys, they're ahead of schedule, and I'll keep saying that. So, but again, next year's not promised either.
Boom.
You just
That's
don't
what I was
know.
gonna say.
You
really
know.
don't.
So
look at Detroit, right? They last year, and then look at this year. So you just never know.
Yep.
Any given Sunday. So I agree. This team should capitalize, and obviously the people in the locker room and Ben Johnson are going to have the guys ready to go, saying, "Let's go win this." So, yeah, overall, great season, and still got one more game. It'll be interesting. Even a lot of voicemails are questioning who's going to, if they're going to play it or not. It'll be interesting to see. So definitely stay out for that. But I would love to see Caleb get the record, maybe pull them at halftime or something if they're beating the shit out of Detroit. But we'll have to wait and see. All right, let's get to the shout-outs here like we always do. Let me pull open. Let me see here. If you don't mind, actually, Jack, can you pull some of the OGs up in there so I can give a – if not, I can do it. Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, we got Thomas Whitty, who's our Hall of Fame Patreon. Thank you, first off, being a Hall of Fame Grizzly member who holds down the den with the hashtag OG Bear Down. Not even mad about this loss, to be honest. It was always going to be tough, just fell a little short. Agree completely. We got Cheese in the Bear Pod. Shout out to you with the hashtag OG Bear Down. Appreciate that. We got Isaac here on YouTube with the hashtag OG. What a game. I'm not upset with this result at all. A little disappointed, but this team showed they can hang with anybody, and that's what we needed. Still proud of the team. Love where we're at. Absolutely. Keep going. We got Silas Copeland Sr. on Facebook with a hashtag OG Bear Down. We will be back. Absolutely. Imperil 34 on YouTube with a hashtag OG. I want the 270 yards, the Packers rematch, and the I enjoy beating LaFleur twice a year statement to come to fruition. Love that. Domain Expansion 94 on YouTube with the hashtag OG. Not even mad about the offense today. F the refs, and I pray this defense has a wake-up call heading into the playoffs. Bear down. Plastic Rockets with a hashtag OG. Just glad we're able to hang with the 49ers. Oh, here's a question. Eduardo Garcia was, how do we feel about the Dennis Allen play call? Too much soft coverage, in my opinion. I agree with that. And we kind of talked about that earlier. But, yeah, we just weren't getting enough pressure. We got Kyler Villagomez here with the hashtag OG Bear Down. At least we're not frauds. We belong in the playoffs. Unlike the Patriots, I love Ben and Caleb, and this game made it more so. And Luther was amazing. I hope he's good. We got Benny Coops on Twitter with the hashtag OG. Benny Coops, love you guys. Benny Coops, love you guys. Bear down. Appreciate it, Benny. We got Gage, our Hall of Fame Grizzly member, with the hashtag OG. We just went toe-to-toe with a team that's a playoff contender yearly. Bear fucking down. Absolutely. We got Ali Almo 0326 with a hashtag OG. My daughter changed my damn name on here. LOL. My name is Micah and been a fan for years. Appreciate that, Micah. Keep it up. Hashtag BFR. Bear down, baby. Appreciate that. We got It's Big J on YouTube with the hashtag OG. We can hang with anyone, anybody. Caleb Williams. He's absolutely right. We got Mike Claus 26 on YouTube with the hashtag OG. Love Bajent, but I want starters in. Let's go get 4K and whoop some Jungle Cat ass. Love that. R and Brad on YouTube with the hashtag OG. Appreciate that. And then we have a super chat from Micah, who's known as Ali Almo 0326 on YouTube. But he said, Micah here, big fan, fellas. Couple of people answered, but curious what you guys think. What do y'all take, 2018 Bears or 2025? I'll go first quick on this rapid fire. First off, thank you for the $5 super chat. I'm going 2025 because that might be Mitch. Yeah, you might be right. All right, good call out there. I'm going to go with 2025 Bears because our quarterback isn't Mitch. So I trust Caleb more than the quarterback we had in 2018. But what about you, Dave and Jack?
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
It's 2025. It's always 2020.
Yeah. But I appreciate it, Mitch. Thank you again for the $5. Absolutely.
Appreciate it. Okay, there's a couple more here. We got Phil here with the hashtag OG. Brock Purdy gives off cuck energy. Caleb Duff gets more play. We'll be back for those fools. Burden and Loveland are such dogs. Future smells like a dynasty to me. Appreciate that, Phil. And thank you for being a Hall of Fame Grizzly member. We got Ken with the hashtag OG. I was shocked they didn't pull it off at the end, but not even mad. Great game. And then also, I know MC Facts and OG, but he said hit that like button. 60 in the chat, 38 likes. Yes, please do that. We really do appreciate it because it helps the show grow. Because again, this is Bears Film Room Podcast, number one show for the fans, by the fans. Because Dave, Jack, and I are fans like y'all. You know, we feel disappointed after losses like this, and we feel great when the team goes 11-5. And so we go through the highs and lows like y'all, and we want to make sure we're building a community that puts fans first like y'all, and that's what we're doing here at Bears Film Room Podcast. So appreciate it. All right, one final shout out, and then we'll get out of here. Obviously, we got to give a shout out to our wonderful, fantastic Grizzly members of the den. So shout out to our Patreon Hall of Fame Grizzly members. We got Michael BH across the pond, Gage, Phil, Michael Berry, Angie Wright, Ryan Reeves, Daniel Jones across the pond, Thomas Whitty, Tito, Dave, Jerome from Darien, and then our newest member, Chris. Shout out to all of y'all. Also, we have our Hall of Fame Grizzly member Patreon call next month. I'll post the chat. I'll post the link to it in the in the Patreon and in our private Discord. So look out for that. Excited to meet up with all of y'all. And then also we had to give love to our rookie Grizzlies as well, like Alex, Chris, Ethan, Caleb, Jason, and Megan. So shout out to all of our Patreon members. If you want to get a shout like them and you want to be dope like them, you can join the Patreon in the link in the description. We have a $3 tier for our rookie tier, a $10 tier for a Hall of Fame tier. And if you get in now, you'll be able to get into our private Zoom call next month where we get to meet up and be ready for the giveaways that we do at the end of every month. So appreciate all of you Patreon members as always. Thank you for holding down the den and thank you for being you. So that is it. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get to. We have a super before we get out of here from Domain Expansion.
From our OG here. Okay, this is funny. Ash Cash is working wonders. If you know, you know. Appreciate the $2 super chat. But
thank you, Domain.
Yeah, y'all can look into that if you need to.
It's funny. He said that in a normal chat, and then he sent it in as a super, I believe, which is
I love
hilarious
that.
because I laughed the first time.
That's how you get the comments.
Appreciate
going,
that.
So appreciate it, Domain. And I love the Avi as well. Appreciate that. Any final thoughts, boys? Because that is it on my end.
Nope. On to Detroit, and then we get the playoffs. So absolutely fantastic season. I think we have almost 7,000 across all platforms. So again, thank you guys. I can't remember if we're at 13.
We're almost at 13. Yeah, we're almost at 13, I think.
Yeah, guys, we're almost at 13,000 subscribers. And insane. We've jumped up over the last 28 days, almost 2,000 subscribers. So almost 2 million views. You guys are amazing. The support's been unreal. Say it every single time. But thank you again. But that's all I got. Anything else, guys?
No, bear down.
Yeah, bear down.
Yep, bear down. We'll see you next week, next Saturday. Bears, Lions.
Peace.